Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? Oh, it's heavenly outside. It is breezy and sunny and wonderful, so I'm really excited. So let's tap into what you are meant to hear today. You are the foundation. How light. I love this so much because this reminds me it all starts with us. It all ends with us. How do we feel? So I'll ask myself throughout the day, do I have my bearings? Am I centered? Super important before we leave our house, right? Before we get in our car and start driving around or go into our office or any place where we're going to share our energy. We are the foundation. So my kind of like fundamentals are check in. What are you feeling? Do you feel anything? I'll start with temperature just so I can check in. Do I feel too hot, too cold? Do I feel fidgety, revving too high? This helps us regulate again so we don't get over caffeinated and just go bonkers on society like out there. You see those people. I mean, we see them on a daily basis. They're dropping their keys, they're spilling their coffee, they're honking us in traffic, and we're like, all right, take it easy on the old caffeine because people they get revved too high. So recognizing the fact that we set out an energy, we send out a vibration, and where do we start to feel grounded and secure and good? And I love the fact that this is like a tea and coffee cup, and it almost looks like an egg coming out of it in a tree, and how I just start my day. I recognize how beautiful it is outside, and I start with gratitude. Oh, the breeze, the sun, the restfulness, nature, everything that is conducive to peaceful, mindful behavior, right? Gotta do it. Can't get revved. Gotta stay settled in your tea kettle. Another thing with the next card, Imperial Topaz, you live in abundance. When we start with that, I love opening my refrigerator and being like, I've got eggs, I got milk, I got all this. If we have the basics, some sort of form of bread, some sort of form of milk or eggs. It's like we can have French toast, we can have souffles, we can have a whole bunch of stuff. Live in abundance. Something that really makes me feel abundant ever since I was a child, fresh flowers and beautiful plants. Today when I was out, I bought a planted gorgeous sunflower, put it on my kitchen counter. It gave me life. It made me so damn happy. One simple flower gave me life. And I was like, I love living things in my house, animals, people, plants. But when I look at it, it always seemed like, I don't know, it's something, I think it had to do with one time, like Ivana Trump was talking about how she spends $20,000 a week in fresh flowers for the hotels and her homes. And I always, equated that with like a luxury and just living large. And ever since then, I've loved fresh cut flowers. Well, ever since I, can remember. And it always had this kind of stamp of just elegance to it. So what is that little thing that you can tap into and provide yourself with that feels like you're abundant? Could be the fact that you can luxuriate in somebody else making your dinner or doing Instacart or having something brought to you. And that gives us this lovely feeling like we have choice, because time is a resource. Sometimes I'm willing to forego money so I have more time. So I'll have somebody do my shopping for me. Love that. Same cleaning, anything, some kind of skill that I don't necessarily have a good time, but I can employ somebody else and, live in abundance that way. I love that. So ask yourself, what can I do that makes me feel like I have a little razzle dazzle and sizzle out there treating yourself? Sometimes I'll go onto Amazon and I'll just explore things and be like, will that make me feel like I'm living in abundance, or will it just feel like more stuff? Like I'm so over more stuff. So proud of myself. I just went to a big shopping plaza where it had some of my favorite places. It had like a Marshalls and it had like, Michael's Crafts. And I was like, yay, beads and clothes. And I said, so what's the last thing on this planet you need more of? And I was like, beads and clothes. So I was like, hey, you're in front of the grocery store. So what do you need? Maybe you need some fresh fruit and some juice and some food instead of beads and clothes. And I was like, aha, I think I will do that. So that being said, when we feel like we live in abundance and we have an abundance mindset, more comes in, more prosperity, more kaching, more everything. For time immemorial, it has been that way. And I remember even, being little when my parents were like, oh, let's go celebrate. We have, we're in abundance. We have so much. We can afford it. I loved hearing we can afford it. Like that was my favorite thing ever. My least favorite thing was we can't afford that. And I do not say that anymore. I don't say I can't afford it. I said I will get this at a later time. This, again, when we think we have something, when we think we lack something, it really does start to come about, and then we operate in that orbit. And we always want an abundant mindset. We are rich in mind, body, spirit, and prosperity, right? So tap into your resources. I love this. Every once in a while, I will just do like a quick scan of my room, office, whatever, and I will be like, you know what? I do not need to even leave. I have whatever. I could probably paint for a year, use all my tarot decks, not reuse any of them for a solid year, because with oracle decks, and I don't use a whole deck in each read. Clothing wise, I'm set for another decade, obviously. Anything, needlework, painting, all of that. When I look around, I'm like, wow, I have so much cool resources to make things and create things. So when we start to utilize the stuff that we have around, it also makes us feel abundant, right? Like, wow, I don't have to go out and do this. I already have whatever I need right at my fingertips. So when we put this all together, you are the foundation. You live in abundance. Tap into your resources, and amazing things happen. Creative juices get flowing. We feel like, we have enough to share and give. And it's just this wonderful state of existent opulence that we just, coexist in the universe with. And there are days, honestly, you ever hear that thing, like you'll see people look in movies in their closet and they go, I have nothing to wear. Isn't that funny? Because that can be a mindset of people, because we'll think, been there, done that, and we need something new. And that's when we really need to tap into our resources and realize we do have a lot of new ways that we could mix and mingle, wardrobe, how we cook, all of this. Sometimes I like to just flip on like a food channel and I'll see somebody make something interesting, like what's that other thing that was going on there? This kind of cool stroganoff. And I was like, dude, I already have the stuff in my house to even do this. So how wunderbar, let's get cooking. So I feel like the most important right here is realize that you are the foundation to think in that mindset of, wow, there is so much prosperity and abundance around me, and I'm so lucky to exist, to have health, to have legs to walk, right, to have hands to work with, to have eyes to see with, all of this, and everything else stems from that. And then it just grows, right? And I like this because I feel like this is kind of the formula for the day, right? Do we feel settled? Do we feel solid like a tree? And then we have our tea or our coffee, and then our day grows from there. And that kind of like egg, it looks like a beautiful egg right in the center. And it's like, what kind of day do we want to formulate? Because we are the wizards, we are the creators, we are the ones that manifest. And then thinking we already have everything that we need, because it is true, and more just comes from that. And then we tap into our resources and we get to, what are we going to put in our little pot, and what are we going to create and cook up today? So that, my beauties, is what you're meant to hear today. Love and light.